two 14mm bolts to remove the caliper. This caliper has the park brake cable attached to it, so it's a little tight to wiggle off of there, but it will come off without disconnecting the brake hose or the park brake cable. And then it's two 17mm bolts to remove the caliper mount. The rotor's held on with two Phillips screws. Do not do them tight. They just need to be snug enough to hold the rotor in position while you install the brakes. That is their only job. To depress the piston in this one, you need to turn it counterclockwise. I have a special tool for this. You may not. You can get away with just using a pair of pliers to turn it counterclockwise, but that is not recommended. It's recommended you get the proper tool for the job. The tool I have puts a little pressure on the piston, and then you rotate it clockwise. And then you put a little more pressure, then you rotate it clockwise, and it works very well. You need to pay attention. There's a little notched groove on the piston for a little nubby that sticks out on the back side of the brake pad that needs to line up. Clean and lube the slider pins with brake grease. Special grease meant for brake systems, not just any old grease. And then you want to remove the shims. Take a wire wheel or some sort of brush to the mating surface so the new shims will sit flush. When you do go to install the brake pads, they should be somewhat loose. You should be able to move them back and forward a little bit. They should not be seized. The orientation on these clips doesn't really matter, but make sure they're clipped on fully. This one was a little stubborn. Once you get the shims installed, go ahead, reinstall the caliper mount with the two 17mm bolts. Put a little bit of lube on the brake pads where they contact the shims. Not too much, otherwise it just attracts dirt. And then you have these retainer clips that need to go on. Once those clips are on, it'll want to push the pads off. You'll need to hold them in place until the caliper is on. 100 foot-pounds to torque the wheel.